Yeah, we certainly need a huge uptick in the number of tradies working on housing construction. We have workforce challenges right across the country that are slowing down our housing construction.
So how do we get the tradies? We simply can't, of course, magic them up overnight.
If only. No, there's really three ways we can go about this. One is through apprenticeships, and the federal government's already looking at the apprenticeship program to try and lift its game in terms of the number of apprentices moving into these sorts of trades. The second one is through skilled migration programs, through targeted programs to bring in the skills we need, in this case to build more homes. And thirdly, looking at how we build homes and the way we use the workforce we have to perhaps be a little more efficient. So that can be things like off-site construction, rather than having contractors move from site to site, having effectively industrial models of housing construction where we build in factories the homes and then move them to the places they're needed.
Interesting. Skilled migration, and various industry figures are calling for a boost in skilled migration. That, of course, is a potential political flashpoint, and for want of a better expression, it could be quite challenging for the industry to work its way through that.
It is. I mean, anytime you talk about migration, it's a sensitive issue. People are concerned about actually the influx of people consuming housing, but the reality is we need that influx of people to help build the houses. And we do know that migrants tend to use housing differently than existing residents, in that more of them live in the same number of houses. They live with sort of more people per home. So it's a challenging issue.
It is. And on the apprenticeship front, is it a challenge encouraging younger people to go into a trade as opposed to a university, or do you see that trend happening already?
They're certainly happening to some degree, but over the last 30 years we've really encouraged people into higher education, into university degrees. We need to make sure that we're getting the right balance there and getting enough people into the trades where there are very good careers to be had.
Going back to that target of 1.2 million homes over the next 5 years, Michael, in your view, is that too ambitious, too heroic a target?
Heroic's a strong word. I'd call it ambitious but achievable. It's not going to be easy. We've looked at the performance of each of the states and territories, and in their best years they can rise to this level. So we need to get all of the ducks lined up to make it happen.
And what are the consequences if that target isn't met, if we don't get the 90,000 odd tradies into the system 5 years down the track, or even 1 or 2 years down the track? We have a housing squeeze already. What could be the consequences if we don't achieve that target and we don't get the extra workers we need?
Well, we're on that path at the moment where we simply don't have enough housing to meet our need, where supply is not keeping up with demand, and you see that in the private rental system with extremely low vacancy rates and therefore rising prices right across the system. You see it in home purchase prices that have been going up and up much more quickly than wages, and we'll see that trend just continue and housing become even more unaffordable in this country.